Bill is currently on the table, designed to help small business owners with startup costs.
It's a big deal. We have Congressman Pat Meehan here this morning. He's the man behind the legislation. Good morning to you.
Hey, good morning.
We've got a lot going on, don't we?
We certainly do. There's a great bit going on.
You know, the vice president's coming to Philadelphia today to promote the president's jobs bill. What do you think of that bill so far?
Well, I think there's some good parts of it, and there's some things that I can work with. And we've identified a series of things that may help jumpstart the economy. But the big problem with me is they've talked about this in its totality. And I think the president laid down a marker in which it's almost been used, I think, now as a political weapon as opposed to a real opportunity for us to find some things we can work together on.
A new poll out this morning says 65% of Americans want this jobs bill passed. That's a good majority. We want you to do something.
Yeah, people want to do something, and I agree. I think there's some good things that in there that we can work on. I've been a supporter already of trying to, enable the continuation of the deductions that people have for their payroll. That'll help small businesses. We're also looking at expensing, 100% expensing on the front end for small businesses, for the capital cost that they have, things, veterans preferences. I mean, there's a series of things in this bill that I think we can both work on.
I know Bob Brady was talking about it. There's this groundswell of people who are so frustrated. They're saying that the Republicans are just stalling. They don't want to get anything done because they don't want President Obama to get reelected. Can you speak to that at all?
But I mean, now there's the frustration with it, because the fact of the matter is the president came and he said, pass this jobs bill now. It's been sitting in the Democrat Senate now for close to a month. The Senate Democrats have not passed the bill. So as a result, there's accusations going on, but his own party is not acting on the bill, and what they're doing is targeting this into a political sense instead of coming back and saying, hey, isn't there some things we can all work on?
So pieces of it.
Yeah. I mean, I think and there are some things that I think we can work on that will help us in the short term, but we have to remember as well, these are short-term bridges to a longer-term, solution to creating economic opportunity.
Well, Chino talked about the frustration. How about the frustration that's being played out on the streets now? What do you think of this Occupy Philly, Occupy New York, Occupy about every continent?
Denver, I mean, you name it.
It's all about.
I think it stands for something. I mean, I'm not sure about those individuals who are out there themselves, but they're speaking to a chord that is present in a lot of places. People are economically uncertain right now, and they've touched this chord, and they're speaking for a lot of people that might not be out there.
Really quickly, there's a challenge I was thinking of yesterday when I was reading these headlines. I was thinking, okay, so you have the Occupy Philly people who are saying, you know what, we want jobs, but then you have other people who are saying, you know what, this is costing the city of Philadelphia $33,000, a day, so we don't have the money to do that. So and then that could end up costing jobs because of the overtime cost. You know what I mean? So it's this cycle where we all want the same thing, but it's not getting fixed. Does that make sense?
Well, sure it does. I mean, that's a very isolated circumstance, and I'd be interested. You're the guy that spent time hanging around up there. You can tell me what's actually been going on.
Overnight.
Yeah.
But the again, that's a question of freedom of speech and the toleration we have for this. It speaks to a larger issue. I think we sort of have to move around that particular demonstration and deal with the fundamental issue, which is the economic uncertainty.
You're all about jobs. What are you doing today? What do you have planned?
Well, we've got something planned today. I'm going to be, we're promoting a bill that works for small business. Two-thirds of new jobs are going to be created by small business, and this is an incentive to get people off the sidelines. It allows them to expense their deductions up front at a higher rate. But right now, $5,000 of a startup business can be written off. We want to raise that to $20,000 and allow it to go for a 4-year period instead of a 1-year period. And in combination with some of the other things, it'll enable somebody to take a risk right now. The entrepreneurs and start businesses.
It seems like it would be a way that they take the final jump. Let's get into this small business.
There's a lot of money sitting on the sidelines right now. This is one of the realities, is that there's capital that's waiting for a place to invest. We've got $1.4 trillion sitting on the sidelines in the United States.
I know.
It really is.
Spend it.
We keep talking tax dollars. Well, we can do it, but we've got money here. We just have to create the environment that people see certainty and aren't afraid to invest.
Now, let's just see some of the banks that we bailed them out, gave them all this money, and they won't give it back to us.
Well,
some of them.
Don't get me started on the banks.
Please.
That's another whole issue.
Good to see you.
Hey, great to see you.
Thanks for coming in this morning.
Good luck. 7:36. I'm sorry.